How are you a community? Community becomes what you are. Allow me to explore and share with you some thoughts on communal charity environments of living communion and participation, a culture of encounter and the culture of isolation. The parish is regarded as a community of communities. BEC is a genuine expression of communion. The word communion, closely linked with community. Communion is a translation of the original Greek Koinonia, which has several connotations: union, unity, fellowship, community, friendship, sharing, participation. Communion is to be lived and expressed within communities and between communities. Today's first reading, we find description of Koinonia in Acts 4, verse 32 to 35. Communion has four dimensions that are interrelated: communion of mind and heart, community, solidarity, fellowship, and friendship, community of the word or faith through apostolic teachings, unity in faith, communion of the table, table fellowship, Eucharist, communion of goods, sharing of material or spiritual resources, stewardship, collection in liturgy. It is important to note that the passage from the Acts of the Apostles proclaimed today show the great unity of thought and affection. Christ had prayed, John 17 verse 11, for this beautiful unity among his faithful followers. Do we find such sharing communities in our church today? Am I willing to live to the full the Christian call to communal charity? Do I strive to be truly of one heart and mind with a faith community that cares for the needy? What do I do as part of the Easter people to create a world in which no one has any need? How close are we to each other? How do we show genuine care? Are we ready to make sacrifices for others? Do our hearts beat for others? Have I loved my community members and those with whom I live in this institute with a genuine love? How well have I contributed to the well-being and happiness of the members of my community? Today's first reading invites us to reflect on what is a culture of encounter and the culture of isolation. What are the manifestations of the culture of isolation? Individualism, indifference, exclusion are the manifestations of the culture of isolation. Today, we are living in a world. Communications technology are bringing us closer together and making us more connected. Nonetheless, divisions, which are sometimes quite deep, continue to exist within our human family. Of one heart and mind, challenges today's Easter people to create a world in which no one has any need. We have to admit, though, that many Christians, including religious, can be caught up in the individualism, hedonism, consumerism, and materialism. We need to reflect our own attitudes to material goods, how we acquire them, how we use them, to what extent do we share our material blessings with those in genuine need. Today's realities: we know more things but less about faith. High income, less peace of mind.